what I like to do is just let's just talk about a couple of things that you've seen and things that you can use. Because a lot of times we come to a workshop and we go, yeah, this is all great. You don't know my kids and stuff, or they're using equipment that there's no way that your school can afford unless you're Seminole. And isn't that true? Yeah. Yeah. And so anyway, we can't use things. But what I want to ask you is, tell me some things that we can use when you go back to the gym in 2 weeks when the kids show up. What are some things that you can use either in your classroom or your gym that you've seen already that we've done?
Spaghetti and meatballs.
Spaghetti and meatballs, okay. So we got spaghetti and meatballs. That's one. Rock, paper, scissors, okay. Rock, paper, scissors. And that's the Olympic way and also just a giant way. And if you notice, so far, it's either no equipment or cheap equipment, because right now is the time to go buy your noodles, okay? Because they're all close. I was in Dollar General and they were $1, okay? And the beach balls, you can buy them for 25 or 50 cents now, so you can get a classroom set for pretty cheap. All right, what else?
I don't know what you called it. It was where you had the poly spot and tennis ball.
Okay, spot ball.
We've got those flags where you have the big bags. We order those juggler flags, but those bags, really, for the I've got second, third grade, they're better to me if you've got a beginners, you teach them beginner juggling unit where you start with one hand to the next.
Right.
Those bags are
Okay.
better
And the plastic bags are,
than actually scar.
and if you're worried about a kid putting them over your head, all you got to do is just take the ends and cut that bottom out, and then they don't have any way to really trap air in there. But they really do, and they're cheaper than the scarves, because if you try to order some of those scarves that are multicolored and stuff like that, that costs you a fortune. But here you go to United. I've gone to United and said, hey, I'm a PE teacher. Can I have some? Man, they're handing me boxes. And I'm like, I don't need a box. I just need about 50 of them. Okay? Or you just, with all of our staff, we can just put out an email and we get, if we need ties, if we need cereal boxes or whatever it might be. One last thing. What else can we use? Mousetrap. Okay, you like that. Good. Or, it's Thunderball, mousetrap. So these are some things that we can use immediately in class and lots of other things. I don't have everything on your handout, but if you will email me, a lot of it's on my Pinterest page, especially when I start talking about adaptions for your special needs stuff. I have that on my Pinterest page as well. All right, any questions before we get rolling? All right, so how long is your PE class? Nick, in your classes, what do you have blocked up? About 50 minutes? Okay. What about you, Deb, in Roosevelt? 45, Seminole? 30 to 50, depends. You said 50, right? Okay.
Fourth, fifth grade, her and I are at the second, third grade.
Okay.
They went to 30-minute kids periods. Are you guys still going to be there? If you don't know yet.
Yep. Philip, how long for y'all's? Okay. So I'm going to tell you how I've done things and how, like, Coach, how long is your class? 27 minutes. I've seen Coach Reagan is at Idalou. I've seen her in years past, and it's great. Are you still in the old gym?
No, they tore it down and have a new gym.
Woohoo! Yeah, they had one of those things that looked like it was filmed. Hoosiers was filmed in it, so it was a great facility. I know. My oldest daughter played Little Dribblers in there. So way I like to do things. Obviously, I told you earlier that I only play an activity for about 5 minutes at max, and then I move to something else. Now, I will take the major concept of what we're doing and spend a little bit longer time. Let me just kind of tell you. So this is what a class looks like typically for me, as I do a warm-up of about 3 to 5 minutes. And the warm-up is not always just static stretching, okay? They'll come in, and we're going to do this here in just a moment. They may come in, and I'll have music playing, and I'm setting up or picking up from the last class, or I'm just getting able to get a cup of coffee or go to the bathroom, whatever it might be. So they know the routines, but if you expect kids to do something, you've got to teach them, okay? from year to year, they forget. So you've got to make sure that they know exactly what you want to do. So a warm-up is just that. They're coming in, they're meeting that need to move. Because you think about it, if we have a gym, we have the largest classroom on campus, and the students know that a gym means movement, means play. And so they don't want to come and sit on a spot and wait for you to wail about the last class. You know, they want to move. So you get them going, you teach them that, okay, when you hit the gym, you go in there. And a lot of us have 3 classes that we're wrangling at the same time. You know, Miss Smith's class, always on time. Miss Allen's class, sometimes. And then Miss Key's class is always late. And I don't want to get started, so this 3 to 5 minute warm-up allows me to get all the kids in there before I explain what we're going to do for the day. And so they're coming in there, and they may hit the gym, and they're doing a music warm-up. And I've taught them that they can walk or jog, but they got to keep moving, and they can be social, because a lot of times they've been cooped up in a classroom and can't talk. Now I can walk and talk, because a lot of us do that in real life, right? When we go out and work out, a lot of us do it with a partner or you know, somebody to visit with. And so let them do that. You got music playing, but like if, for instance, we're playing the YMCA. When the YMCA starts singing, when they start saying YMCA, they stop and they spell out YMCA, and then they can keep on walking or jogging with their buddy, okay? And so it allows them to be social. Then when you blow the whistle, everything stops. They find their special spot, okay? That's when they sit down and you say, okay, today what we're going to do is we're going to work on rackets. And we're going to work on a forehand and a backhand. And we're going to do some activities to be able to introduce that. But before we get doing that, we are going to work on some fitness concepts, getting ready for the fitness gram. And you don't even have to mention the fitness gram, but you can also, and we move into something else. What we're going to do is we're going to do a cardiovascular fitness concept in a moment, all right? And you think, oh, that means running. No, it doesn't. All right, and then we're going to spend the rest of the time, and that's not guided practice, is really the lesson focus, okay? That's the lesson focus. Okay, so that's what we're going to do right there, is we're going to, we're going to do the lesson focus, which is the most important part of the lesson, which is the rackets for the day. Now, we've done 10 minutes of other stuff, but I'm going to focus the rest of the time on a kind of a variation, moving from simple to a complex concept in that, all right? And I'll model that in a minute. So let's go out into the play area. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to play a game called rollerball. So what these two are going to do, they're going to have a ball. So if Deb and I are partners, she's going to run out, here you go. I'll run out in front of you about 4 feet, and you're going to roll the ball slowly between my feet. And then you're going to run to the right of me and do the same thing. All right. And we're just going to go right here, being careful not to bump heads with everyone else. Okay? Very good. You're good. All right. So that's going to be our warm-up. So the tallest partner, come get a tennis ball, please. Okay, so we've just hit the gym. I've blown the whistle. I got all you together. You've got your partners. You got your ball. So now, when I say go, you're going to roll the ball between your partner's feet slowly and just go to the right of them. Ready? Go. Yeah, you move everywhere around. There you go. Good. Also works on your flexibility as an adult. Good. Rollerball is the name of this activity. Now that's our warm-up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a fitness concept. And what I've done is I've put out 4 stations. And we're going to spend 30 seconds, and I'll tell you when to rotate. But everyone in your group is going to do, like, we got 1 station here is lunges. Now, we're not going to go crazy and get all sore, but we're just going to go right here, alternate lunges, okay? Now, our kids would go all the way down, okay? Push-ups, well, I'm not going to get you on the ground and do push-ups, okay? We're going to do air push-ups, okay? We're going to do air push-ups. Juggling, I got some bean bags over here and also some tennis balls, whatever your skill level is. And you're going to do that, work on some eye-hand coordination. Then you're just going to jog in place, okay? We're just going to step, okay? For our concept, or for our purposes. Ready? 30 seconds at each station. I'll tell you when to rotate. Go. Very good. This is the part that we would have music playing. All right, stop. Rotate. And let me tell you how to rotate. You go like this to your kids because they never know. If you walk around and point, they'll know the direction, okay? Good job. You guys are higher order learners right there. Go. As soon as you get to your station, you can go. Now, we've done the warm-up, we've done the fitness concept, and now we're going to work on the main lesson focus, okay? So this is how I would treat you if you were 3rd grade students. I'll say, okay, what games can we play with this? Raise your hand, please. Yes, ma'am. Tennis. Great. It's a racket or a paddle. What else, Deb?
Ping pong.
Ping pong. That's great. A larger version of ping pong paddle. Karen, what else?
Knockout.
Yeah. We can play like badminton and stuff like that. So those are all good. So those...
Paddle, like paddle ball against the wall.
Exactly. Paddle ball against the wall. And that's what we're going to try to start with before we move into the bigger tennis rackets, is we're going to learn how to work with the smaller paddle. And so we're going to work with a group or with a partner, and then we're going to work as a group in just a moment, okay? So I just need the red team this time. So if you're red team, raise your hand. Come on out. All right. Blue team, you can just kind of relax somewhere. All right. Red team, if you would, go get you a paddle and a beanbag. Get you a paddle and a beanbag. You can get an animal beanbag, it doesn't matter. Here's some beanbags over here. Super. Come out to the play area. And then what we're going to do is exactly right. Is once the kids got the equipment, I'll let them play with it. I don't try to manage that. But when I blow the whistle or I tell them to stop with the paddle, they're going to do one of 2 things. They're either going to set it by their feet or they're going to hug it. So y'all go ahead and hug it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to play a game or an activity called cooking with gas. We're going to turn this into a frying pan, all right? And we're going to learn how to cook with it. We're going to sizzle, so we're going to go back and forth, sizzle, and then saute. We're going to do circular, and then we're going to do flip. So we're going to turn this into our frying pan and learn how to cook and sizzle, flip, or saute. Ready? Go. So you sizzle back and forth, saute, circular, and flip. Okay? Keep trying that. Now you choose at what level you want to go. I'll switch with you. Oh. Sizzle, flip, saute. Okay, and stop. Now, find your partner. Find your partner. Great. Look at that. I love when the even numbers. And the tallest partner drop their beanbag. So what you're going to do, may I borrow yours, Raymond, is we are going to toss and I'm going to catch and cover. Okay, so you're going to toss and cover. Very good. Let's keep doing that. So everyone go ahead, toss it, and then cover with your hand. Go. You notice we're moving for the progression of just doing movement on the paddle to actually throwing something off the paddle now. Yeah, that's the thing is we would have I would go into a stations type format then. You know, generally I have like 30 or 40 paddles, and I would use all sorts of rackets. I would use a badminton racket, I'd use a tennis racket, a paddle, whatever it is. So I wouldn't necessarily keep them just to a small racket. Okay, stop. Now, Coach Reagan brings up a great comment, because what happens is now we can involve everyone in it. Now Sandra and I are partners, and I don't have a paddle and she does, so go ahead and toss me yours. So now I'm just going to toss underhand, you're going to catch it. We do that 5 times and we switch, okay? And now you're throwing it to me 5 times, I'm catching and tossing back. And so I'm getting the essence of it, all right? So that's just what we do when we have limited number of equipment. Or we have a station, it might be just 2 stations, the ones with and ones without. So the blue team, y'all would be over here rolling the ball back and forth or playing spot ball or something, working on eye-hand coordination before we did that. Okay, nice. So again, Sandra and I are partners, and what we're going to do is we're going to bounce the ball and hit just like this. And what this is like foursquare with paddles, using a forehand and a backhand. That's a good backhand right there, Sandra. Nice backhand. Right here. And so what this is called is garage tennis, because eventually we're going to work up to having like an imaginary line, and we're going to just hit it back and forth, not trying to kill it, just trying to keep it in play. Just like that, okay? Low competition, high skill. All right, try it. Just spread out anywhere in the play area. And so that would basically be my 30 to 45-minute lesson, because within that lesson focus, I did cooking with gas, I did the progression with the beanbag back and forth, and I would also probably use a ball to do that, and then I would use the bigger Gertie ball to be able to play a game, okay? So we're doing everything for the last 15 to 20 minutes that is the major concept of the day, which was working with paddles. All right, hey, if y'all would step over here, I want to show y'all a couple of things, and then we're going to sit down. Right here, I've got up on this board, and this is just another way, because as physical educators, we take care, you know, when we talk about the 3 domains of learning, the psychomotor, the affective domain, and the cognitive, we do pretty good on the psychomotor and also the cognitive, but sometimes the affective, which is what we also call sportsmanship, we don't always do such a great job on that. But within a plaything, we can have a board, what we call those enrichment boards, right? And I would have this spelled out even larger, like powerful encouragement, which would be PE. I might have the letters P like that, and then the rest of it, you know, physical education, or P in powerful in smaller letters, and then encouragement, and then smaller letters. But I would have this on the board, because you think about where some of our students come from, they may not hear these kind of words of affirmation at home. So when they kind of drift off in class sometimes, and you know, they kind of get bored or whatever, and they look over here and go, way to go, maybe I'll try saying that. Or we can purposefully use that in a class and say, okay, today we've been working with paddles and we've been working with the balls, but what I want you to do is I want to work on that friendship factor a little bit with our people. I want you to choose 2 people throughout the day and during class, and I want you to use one of the words that you see up on the board, or come up else that's positive that can help praise the person. And so what that does a lot of times can create a positive atmosphere in our class. And also you're teaching them a skill that's not physical necessarily. So you say keep going, because they may not hear that at home. They may not say way to go and nice job. So those things we're going beyond teaching what we call values, okay? The effective domain of education. All right, so I just wanted to point that out. And I have like a dozen different ones, but I'd have them scattered out on the wall, and that's just a way just to kind of build that positive rapport.